how are you? We have received GATE response sheet from the IIT Bombay, and today I am here to discuss the questions that had been asked in GATE Chemical Engineering 2021 from the topics Process Design Economics, Process Dynamics and Control, and Chemical Technology. So starting with Process Design and Economics. Okay, the first question that has been asked from PDE is from turnover ratio. They have simply asked the formula for the turnover ratio. And what's the formula for turnover ratio? The formula for turnover ratio is gross annual sale divided by fixed capital investment. It's a simple question and you can easily score 1 marks. But अगर वो आपसे ये पूछता एग्जाम में, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टर्नओवर रेशियो का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? ग्रॉस एनुअल सेल डिवाइड बाय फिक्स्ड कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट. सो हमारा आंसर क्या है? बी ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट. ग्रॉस एनुअल सेल डिवाइड बाय फिक्स्ड कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट. अब अगर वो हमसे ये पूछता कि टर्नओवर रेशियो का रेसिप्रोकल क्या होता है, तो वो आपको याद रखना होगा फ्यूचर के लिए. सो टर्नओवर रेशियो को जो रेसिप्रोकल होता है हमारा, वो होता है हमारा कैपिटल रेशियो. और हम इसे ये भी कह सकते हैं इन्वेस्टमेंट रेशियो. ओके, सो फ्यूचर रेफरेंस के लिए आप याद रखना कि कैपिटल रेशियो इज द इनवर्सली टू द टर्नओवर रेशियो. और हम इसे कैपिटल रेशियो को हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि कैपिटल रेशियो इज इक्वल्स टू फिक्स्ड कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट डिवाइडेड बाय ग्रॉस एनुअल सेल. सो जो हमारा क्वेश्चन गेट में पूछा गया था, टर्नओवर रेशियो की डेफिनेशन पूछी थी बेसिकली, जो कि हमारी थी ग्रॉस एनुअल सेल डिवाइड बाय फिक्स्ड कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट. और हमसे फ्यूचर में ये भी पूछ सकते हैं गेट कि कैपिटल रेशियो किसके इनवर्सली होता है हमारा, तो वो होता है हमारा टर्नओवर रेशियो के इनवर्सली. आई होप आप सबको ये समझ में आ गया होगा. Comes to the next question. Next question is from optimization. So if you know about something like increasing and decreasing, or you can say if you know about the increasing and decreasing function, you can easily solve this question, optimization question. So GATE ने क्या पूछा था इसमें? They are saying that a viscous liquid is pumped through a pipe network in a chemical plant. The annual pumping cost per unit length in a pipe is given by this. So उन्होंने आपको पंपिंग की जो कॉस्ट है वो दे दी गई है, जो कि हमारी ये है सी पंपिंग कॉस्ट इज इक्वल्स टू 48.13 क्यू स्क्वायर म्यू डिवाइड बाय डी स्क्वायर d4. सो ये हमें पंपिंग की कॉस्ट दे रखी है. उसके बाद द एनुअल कॉस्ट ऑफ द इंस्टॉल्ड पाइप सिस्टम पर यूनिट लेंथ ऑफ द पाइप इज गिवन बाय दिस. C piping is equals to 45.92 D. So what's the total cost? So what's the total cost for this? Both of this is equals to 48.13 Q square mu divided by D4 plus what's the cost for piping? C piping is equal to 45.92 D. So after we are getting this, so in order to get the economic inner diameter, we have to just differentiate this total cost by the diameter. We have to differentiate with respect to the diameter. Okay, so after differentiating with respect to the diameter, what we are getting? We are getting this value. Okay, after differentiating we are getting this value, and after we getting this value we have to put the value for Q, mu and D, and after solving this we are getting the D is equals to 0.0153. So here if you know about something like optimization, you can easily solve this question, and this question can be solved easily without much knowing about the economics. Okay, comes to the next question. अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन क्या आया था हमारा? नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अ प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट इज चार्ज्ड अ नॉमिनल एनुअल इंटरेस्ट रेट ऑफ 10%. द इंटरेस्ट रेट इज कंपाउंडेड कंटिन्यूअसली. सो हियर what are they saying? They are saying compounded continuously. First point that kept in your mind that यहाँ ये पूछ रहे हैं compounded continuously. The interest rate is compounded continuously. So compounded continuously का जो हमारा फॉर्मूला जो हमारा बनता है वो होगा S is equals to P e to the power Rn. जो फर्स्ट पॉइंट आपको याद रखना होगा एग्जाम में. ओके, उसके बाद they are saying final amount at the end of 1 year would be. फाइनल अमाउंट एक साल के बाद क्या होगी? So after putting the value of R, that is R is equals to 0.1 and N is equals to 1 for 1 year, we are getting as approximate 1.105p. Okay, so they are saying is equals to 1.365 times of principal amount. No, so this option is incorrect. Okay, higher than the amount obtained when the interest rate is compounded monthly. Okay, they are saying higher than the amount. जो हमारा अमाउंट आया है वो हमारा अमाउंट ज्यादा होगा जब हमारा इंटरेस्ट रेट कंपाउंडेड मंथली होगा. ऑफ कोर्स जब हम कह रहे हैं कि कंपाउंडेड कॉन्टिन्यूसली है, मींस कॉन्टिन्यूसली कंपाउंडिंग का ये मतलब है कि हर सेकंड पर सेकंड कंपाउंडिंग आपकी हो रही है, तो ऑफ कोर्स उसका जो इंटरेस्ट रेट होगा वो पर सेकंड के हिसाब से ज्यादा होगा इन कंपैरेटिवली टू मंथली जो होगा. क्योंकि आप ये देखिए कि मंथ 12 मंथ्स होते हैं, हर मंथ के आखिर में आपका जो कंपाउंडेड लग रहा होगा इंटरेस्ट रेट जो लग रहा होगा उसमें उसके वो आंसर उससे कम होगा, और हमारा जो कॉन्टिन्यूसली कंपाउंडेड होगा, जो कॉन्टिन्यूसली कंपाउंडिंग होगी हमारी वो ज्यादा होगी इन कंपैरेटिव टू कंपाउंडेड मंथली. सो दिस ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट. हायर देन द अमाउंट ऑब्टेन व्हेन द इंटरेस्ट रेट इज कंपाउंडेड मंथली. तो दिस ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट. अब comes to the third option, lower than the amount obtained when the interest rate is compounded annually. No, so this option is incorrect. Equal to the amount obtained when using effective interest rate of 27.8%. So we have to think about this. So effective interest rate का formula when compounded continuously क्या होता है? हमारा होता है I effective is equals to e to the power r minus 1. So after that, putting the value of R, that we are getting approximate 10.5%. So this is not equal to 27.18. So this option is also incorrect. So our correct option is option B. Okay, comes to the next one. They are saying a company invested in a recovery unit to separate the valuable metals. They are investing in a recovery unit. So by this we are getting a valuable metals from different affiliate streams. The total initial capital investment of this unit is equals to 10 lakhs. So they have given us the fixed capital investment is equals to 10 lakhs. Okay, the recovery metals are worth of 4 lakhs per year. So we have recovered metals and they are worth of 4 lakhs, means we have profit. So our profit is equals to 4 lakhs. This is per year, 4 lakhs per year. Okay, after that, if the annual return on this investment is 15%, guys, here the question ये बोल रहा है हमें कि we are getting annual return on this investment. So what's the meaning of annual return on this investment is equals to 15%? means it means we have ROR, that is rate of return. We have rate of return. क्वेश्चन ने rate of return हमें दिया है जो कि हमारा 15%. So अब उन्होंने ये पूछा हमसे find the annual operating cost in rupees. Okay, so after that ROR, we have given ROR, that is 15%. So from ROR, what you are thinking? We are thinking about that ROR, rate of return, is equals to profit before tax divided by fixed capital investment. So we have known the formula ROR is equals to profit before tax divided by fixed capital investment. So from here we can get the value of annual operating cost. So annual operating cost, if we can think, this annual operating cost can be written as expenses, okay, and we know that the profit before tax, we can also write it as that profit before tax is equals to revenue minus all the expenses. Okay, so expenses, or we can say the annual operating cost. So हम ये कह सकते हैं कि हमें ये फाइंड आउट करना है और हमें रेवेन्यू दिया है, मींस प्रॉफिट हमें दिया है, वो हमें क्या दिया हुआ है, प्रॉफिट 4 lakhs. ओके, सो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि हमें वी हैव गिवन फिक्स्ड कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफ 10 lakhs, एनुअल रिटर्न इज 15%, दैट इज अवर ROR, rate of return, and the profit we have 4 lakhs per year. So after putting the value in this formula, rate of return is equals to profit before tax divided by fixed capital investment. What we are getting? We are getting the profit before tax is equals to 1.5 lakhs. We are getting this, and we have know the formula of profit before tax. Profit before tax, टैक्स के लगने से पहले कितना प्रॉफिट आया हमारा, उसका जो हमारा फॉर्मूला होता है वो ये है, रेवेन्यू माइनस एक्सपेंसेस. जितने भी हमारे एक्सपेंसेस लगे हैं, एक्सपेंसेस मींस द ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट जो कि हमें ऑपरेट करने में लगी हुई है, तो हम इस एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे कह सकते हैं, ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट. Okay, and after solving this, what we are getting? We are getting the annual operating cost, that is 2.5 lakhs. So our answer is 2.5 lakhs. And I hope that most of the students can easily solve this question, because it is just a simple question. Nothing complex is there in this question. If you know the formula for ROR, you can easily solve this question and you can easily score good marks. Okay, comes to the next topic. Next is of chemical technology, and these are the few questions that has been asked in PDE. Let's back to the chemical technology, and in chemical technology in this year they've asked 2 questions, and both are of match the following, and both are the simplest questions. Okay, so first question is from this first match the following, and they are saying methyl cyclohexane gives toluene plus 3 molecules of hydrogen. So here 3 molecules of hydrogen. From this we can say the removal of hydrogen, or we can also say that dehydrogenation process. So we can say P is equals to 3, this one, dehydrogenation process. Comes to the Q part, ethyl cyclopentane gives methyl cyclohexane. So without much affecting the overall boiling point, without much affecting the molecular formula, or you can say molecular mass, we are getting this compound methyl cyclohexane. So how we can do this thing? We can do this by isomerization. So we can say from ethyl cyclopentane gives methyl cyclohexane, by the process is isomerization process. So we can say Q is equals to 4. Okay, then comes to the R part, N-octane gives ethyl benzene plus 4 molecules of hydrogen. So some students are saying, sir 4 हाइड्रोजन मिल रहे हैं हमें, तो सर ये भी हमारा डिहाइड्रोजेशन प्रोसेस हो सकता है, डिहाइड्रोजेशन प्रोसेस हो सकता है, ऑफ कोर्स हो सकता है, बट यहाँ पर एक और चीज हो रही है हमारी, वो हो रही है यहाँ पे रिंग कंपाउंड बन रहा है हमारा बेसिकली. सो एन ऑक्टेन, नॉर्मल ऑक्टेन हमारा इथाइल बेंजीन प्लस 4 मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ हाइड्रोजन बना रहा है. तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे एक रिंग कंपाउंड भी बन रहा है हमारा, और हमारे 4 मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ हाइड्रोजन भी आउट हो रहे हैं. तो हम ये कह सकते हैं ये हमारा होगा हाइड्रोसाइक्लाइजेशन प्रोसेस. सो R is equals to 1. After that, N-octane, normal octane, gives us N-pentane plus propylene. Here 8 carbon, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they are break into N-pentane, normal pentane. So they are break into normal pentane and propylene. So here's the cracking occurs. Okay, and we are getting normal pentane plus propylene. So this is our cracking process, and this compound, this N-pentane, is in the gasoline boiling range. So हम ये कह सकते हैं कि this cracking process results in formation of gasoline. Okay, so comes to the next one. Next is our from chemical technology, and this is our match the following question. Okay, so they are saying gypsum. They are just equating the formula basically. So gypsum का formula क्या होता है? Gypsum is equals to our CaSO4 dot 2H2O, and dolomite gives us CaCO3 dot NgCO3, and triple superphosphate is equals to CaH2PO4. So this is our triple superphosphate formula. So this is getting this, and gypsum is for this. So our answer for this one is B option. B option is the correct one. Okay, I hope कि आप सबने दोनों क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर देंगे कि ये एक स्कोरिंग सब्जेक्ट है और इससे आपके अच्छी रैंक आने के चांसेस ज्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं, इंक्रीज हो जाते हैं. ओके, नाउ कम्स टू दी आवर लास्ट वन, प्रोसेस डायनामिक्स एंड कंट्रोल. इस साल प्रोसेस डायनामिक्स एंड कंट्रोल में से काफी इजी क्वेश्चंस आए हैं. आपको ऐसा ज्यादा एफर्ट्स नहीं करने पड़ेंगे. इफ यू नो अबाउट द बेसिक फॉर्मूलाज यू कैन इजीली सॉल्व ऑल द क्वेश्चंस. So starting with the first one, they are saying a feed forward controller can be used only if you know about the controller configuration, feed forward, feed backward, you can easily correct this question. A feed forward controller can be used only if the disturbance variable can be measured. So this one is our correct option. Now comes to the second one. So second one is saying a process has a transfer function of Gs is equals to Ys by Xs and is equals to 20 divided by 90,000 S square plus 240 S plus 1. Okay, and initially the process is at our steady state with X at t is equals to 0 is 0.4 and Y is equals to t is equals to 0. So Y is giving us 100. If a step change of in X is given from 0.4 to 0.5, the maximum value of Y. So guys, यहाँ पे ध्यान से देखना, इन्होंने पूछा है the maximum value of Y. अब यहाँ पे जो Y पूछा गया है हमसे वो हमारा स्मॉल y है, ना कि हमारा कैपिटल Y. ये हमारा कैपिटल Y नहीं पूछा हमसे पूछा गया स्मॉल y. So y that will be observed before it reaches the new steady state. Steady state पहुंचने से पहले जो हमारी y की मैक्सिमम वैल्यू होगी वो क्या होगी. So you can think about this. The question is giving us a hint that the maximum value, we have to calculate the maximum value. So what will be the maximum value before it reaches to the new steady state? So we can think like, okay, the maximum value, what we have a maximum value for this? It's a second order system. From this value, you can say it's a second order system. So we can say for a second order system, this graph, we can draw this graph. So they are saying, what's the maximum value of y? What's the maximum value of y before it reaches to the new steady state? Before it reaches to the new steady state. So this is our new steady state. This is our new steady state. Okay guys, this is our new steady state and this is our old steady state. Okay, so what's the maximum value of y before we reaches our new steady state? So this is our maximum value in terms of y. Okay, this is our old steady state, that is 100, and this is our new steady state, and we have to calculate that new steady state in terms of small y. Guys, ध्यान रखना एग्जाम में कि आपसे स्मॉल y की वैल्यू पूछी गई है, ना कि आपसे डेविएशन वेरिएबल के टर्म्स में पूछा गया है, दैट इज कैपिटल y. कैपिटल y में नहीं पूछी गई थी, आपसे स्मॉल y में पूछी थी. बच्चे यही स्टूडेंट्स जो होते हैं वो यही मिस्टेक करते हैं कि वो कैपिटल y में तो आंसर लिख देते हैं, बट वो ये नहीं देखते कि स्मॉल y में पूछी या कैपिटल में पूछी है, और यहाँ स्मॉल y में पूछी गई थी, तो आपको स्मॉल y में आंसर करना होगा. सो वी हैव गिवन दिस इक्वेशन, वी हैव टू कंपेयर this equation to our second order system equation, and after comparing this, what we are getting the value of tau p, we are getting the value of tau p, that is 300, and the value of r is equals to 0.4, and they are saying if a step change in x is given from 0.4 to 0.5, so they have given a step change from 0.4 to 0.5. So the step change is of 0.1. So step change is of 0.1. Okay. So this is our capital X. Let me correct this. This is our capital X. Okay. So this is our capital X of 0.1. We have given 0.1, and this is our capital X in terms of deviation variable, we can say. So this is our capital X, that is in terms of deviation variable we are getting 0.1 divided by s. Okay, so after this, after calculating the value of tau and r, what we have to calculate? We just have to calculate this one, this maximum value. Okay, so this question is from overshoot and decay ratio topic. So how are we gonna find overshoot? We have the formula. If you know the formula for the overshoot, you can easily find the maximum value. So the formula for overshoot is a by b is equals to exponential of minus pi r pi zeta, okay, divided by under root of 1 minus zeta square. Okay, and after this, after the putting the value of zeta, that is r is equals to 0.4, मैंने यहाँ पे r notation दे रखा है basically from my perspective, my point of view, easily solving the question. So the value of zeta here is 0.4. After putting the value of zeta, but we are getting the value of a by b, that is overshoot. So we are getting the value of overshoot, that is 0.2538, and after getting the value of this, we can calculate the maximum of y. So the maximum of y, so this is our maximum. Okay, this is our new steady state. This is our A and this is our B. So the new steady state, the maximum value, the new steady state. Okay, what is the new steady state? New steady state is 2. Okay, how we can calculate? 20 is divided by 90,000. Okay, this is given to us 90,000 s square plus 240 s plus 1. Okay, this is GFS. So by the help of final value theorem, we can find out the value of y of s. Okay, at s tending to, we can find this value. Okay, by the help of final value theorem. So what we are getting the value 2. Okay, after getting the value this, we have to do this thing. We have to do a simple mathematics. Like we have to find first y max. This is capital Y max. But this capital Y max is equals to a plus b. Then we have to take common b. After taking the common b, we are getting b into a by b plus 1. And by putting the value, we are getting the value of y max. This is y max is equal to this one. Okay, but they are saying we have to calculate small y max. So what the formula for this? Y max is equals to small y max minus y of steady state small. So guys, after calculating the value for capital Y max, that's our deviation variable, we can calculate the value of small y. So capital Y max is equals to y max, small y max minus small y max at steady state, and that's our this one, small y steady state, and this is our 100. We have just calculated the value, the deviation value, that is 2.5076, and this is our value 2.5076, and from there we can calculate the small y max, that is our 102.5076. Okay, I hope आप सबको समझ में आ गया होगा ये यहाँ तक. Comes to the next question, and the next question is, which of the following is not necessary condition for a process under a closed loop control to be a stable? So guys, just keep in your mind that this is not, we have to see this thing here in this question, not is written. So be sure that before reading the whole question, you have to keep in your mind that in this question not is written. So which of the following is not necessary condition for a process under the closed loop control to be stable? So which is not a necessary condition? Let's see. Our options are: a dead time term must be absent in the open loop transfer function. All the elements in the left first column of the route array must have same sign. So here in this option they didn't mention is it positive sign or a negative sign. So we can say for this option, if our route array have same sign, means all have positive signs or all have negative signs, all elements should have the same sign, then it is stable. The closed loop is stable. So this is our necessary condition. Comes to the option C. Open loop transfer function must have an amplitude ratio that is less than 1 at critical frequency. So this is also our necessary condition. Okay, roots of the characteristic equation. Roots of the characteristic equation must have negative real part. They are saying that roots of the characteristic equation must have real part. So the roots have some real part that is on negative side of x-axis. So this is also our necessary condition. So what's left is our this option A. That time term must be absent in the open loop transfer function. This is not a necessary condition for a system to be stable, because in the dead time we have phi, and the value of phi is from 0 to infinity. How? Because we have denoted phi is equals to minus tau d omega. Okay, so from 0 to infinity it possesses all the values from 0 to infinity, not including 0 and infinity. So if our value for the phi comes to out 18 degrees, suppose, for the dead time, and for the rest of the system the phi value comes out to be around 100 degree. So the total value of phi of our transfer function, whole transfer function, comes out to be 18 degree. So it is less than our critical frequency phi, means critical phase frequency. So we can say this is our stable. So we can say the dead time term should be absent. It can be absent, or if it present, then it can be a stable or in unstable condition. So this is not a necessary condition for a process under a closed loop control to be a stable. So our answer is this one. So this is our answer. The option A is there. A is correct option. Okay. Now comes to our next question. So the next question they are saying, which of the following symbols can be found in piping and instrumentation diagram? So guys, you all know that IIT Bombay have revised their syllabus, GATE syllabus, and in GATE syllabus, PID diagrams they have mentioned for the first time, and for the first time this question came, and this is a simplest question because in the heat transfer you have studied this particular diagram, because this diagram denotes heat exchanger, okay, and this diagram you have studied in fluid mechanics, and this diagram denotes as centrifugal pump, and this you have studied in mass transfer. This diagram denotes packed bed column. And what's left? This one. We haven't studied this type of figure, like a flower figure type figure. So this is not in option. So our options are P, R and S. Okay. So our answer is P, R, S only. So our option is D is correct one. Okay. Now comes to the next one. Next one comes with a diagram. So it is required to control the volume of the contents. Here they are saying it is required to control the volume. So first hint of the question is to control the volume. Okay, for control the volume of the contents in the jacketed reactor as shown in the figure. As shown in the figure. This is our figure. So which one of the following scheme, they have given these 4 options, which of the following scheme can be used for the feedback controller? So this is our second hint that the question are giving us. Okay? So for a feedback controller, which of the following scheme is the best scheme in order to control the volume? So we have to control this one, this volume of this reactor. Okay, so in order to control the volume of a reactor, we have to control the height. So we have to measure this one. That is, we have to measure L101. So where it is L101, we have to measure L101. Measure L101. So out of 4 options, we have selected 2 options. Okay, from these 2, we have to see which one is the correct one. Which one is the correct one? So first of all, measure L101. We just measure L101. So after measuring this height, in order to control the volume inside the reactor, we have to manipulate the flow in order to maintain the steady state volume, or you can say in order to maintain the steady state height, or in order to control the volume of the reactor, or to control the volume of the height. What we have to do? We have to just manipulate this thing, this volume of the reactor. And how we gonna control the volume of the reactor? By valve V3. So by this valve, we can control the volume inside the reactor. So out of these 2 options, our option C is the correct one. Measure L101 and manipulate valve V3. So for the feed backward controller, and you all know that after getting disturbed, we have to do some major steps in order to see, or in order to control this volume, okay, in a feed backward controller, feedback controller. So our options is C. Option is measure L101 and manipulate valve V3. Okay, I hope you all understand this thing, and आप सबने ये क्वेश्चन सही किया होगा गेट में. ये क्वेश्चन आई थिंक 2 मार्क्स का था और बड़ा सिंपल क्वेश्चन था. ओके, सो गाइस, comes to the next one. Next one is also a diagram, and this question came from valve section. Okay, so this is our inherent characteristic 3 controller valve P, Q and R. So by seeing this thing, we can say, by seeing things, see this thing, this diagram, we can say P is our quick opening. This is our quick opening valve. This is our quick opening valve. This Q is our linear valve. This Q is our linear valve. Okay, and the third one, last one, R is our equal percentage valve. Equal percentage valve. Okay, so अब हम इसमें ऑप्शंस चेक कर सकते हैं अपने. So this is our, what's our options are? R is a equal percentage valve. R equal percentage valve. Okay, this one is correct. P is quick opening valve. P is quick opening valve. This is also correct option. So A option and B option till now is correct. Let's see the C option. Q is quick opening valve. No, Q is not a quick opening valve. That's a linear valve. So C option is wrong. Then comes to the last one. P is a equal percentage valve. P is a equal percentage valve. No, this is P is our quick opening valve. So our options correct are A and B. So A and B is correct one. Okay, I hope you understand this. Now comes to the next one. Next one, which of the following is not? They clearly mentioned here not. Guys, you have to see this thing. They have mentioned not word. Okay, so which of the following is not a standard to transmit measurement and control signals? Okay, so this one is used for the voltage one. This one is for current. This one is for pneumatic pressure. Okay, and this we are left with this one, and we are not using such type of things in our process dynamics and control. So our option is option D, is not the standard to transmit the measurement and control signals. We never start with zero. You all know that. We never start with zero in our process dynamics and control readings. Okay, I hope you understand this thing, and this is also you can say the easy one. Now comes to the next question. The next question is saying that a system has a transfer function Gs is equals to 3 e to the power minus 4s divided by 12s plus 1 when a step change of magnitude m. So guys, they are saying we have done a step change of magnitude m. A step change of magnitude m. There's your hint, first hint, a magnitude m. So we can say m of s for step change. You can say this one. Okay, to given the system input. Okay, find the value of the system output to is measured the final when a system change of magnitude m is given to the system input, the final value of the system output is measured to be 120. So from this statement we can say they are saying the final value of the system output is 120. So we can think about this. We can also relate this thing to the final value theorem. Okay guys, so we can say we can use the final value theorem, this one, in order to calculate this final value, and here this final value is given, that is 120. So we have this transfer function. We can also write this ys divided by xs is equals to 3 e to the power minus 4s divided by 12s plus 1, and we have this one because in the question they have mentioned a step change of magnitude m is given to the system input. So this is our ms. We can cross multiply this thing and we easily get this one, and after getting this value we can put this value here and we can solve this in order to get the value of m. And what we are getting? We are getting this value. Okay, we are getting this value. We have put in this equation, and after putting the equation, after putting the value of ys, we are getting with a value of m, that is our 40. So the answer is 40. And I hope you all solved the process dynamics question because they are easy. Okay, I think that only one question in the process dynamics and control is the moderate one, and the question is when we are solve this overshoot question, where we have to find the maximum value of y. This is our moderate question unless all the questions are very easy and you can easily solve the question. And I hope आप सबने सारे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किए होंगे, बिकॉज इस बार जो हमारा प्रोसेस डायनामिक्स के क्वेश्चंस आए थे वो स्कोरिंग क्वेश्चंस थे, और इन्हीं क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करके अगर आपके सही होते हैं तो आप एक अच्छी गेट में रैंक स्कोर कर सकते हो. सो ये आपका प्रोसेस डायनामिक्स एंड कंट्रोल का क्वेश्चन सारे कंप्लीट हो गए हैं. थैंक यू.